What's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Box. I'm your host, Glassbox Hero, and we're going to have some fun. So, here's my new show. Here's my new tie. You better lock it into your calendars because it's going to be happening all the time now. I hope you all are having a good night. I am. I had a decent day at work today, and I'm glad that it's over and all that. But here I am, ready to go and talk to you guys about what's new, what's coming. Got my new stream night. We'll see how Tuesdays do. But anyway, what's been going on? Well, I'm still dating Jess. Everything's going really well there. My saltwater fish tank is doing well. And work is going well. Everything seems to be going well. How about you guys? So yeah, this new show, it's called Inside the Box. It's about me, obviously, and like everything that's going on. Sharing what's going on both inside my glass boxes. Look at him freaking out about something. Oh, he's trying to scratch all of his shed off of his face and stuff. That's what he's doing. So yeah, I'll be showing you guys what's going on inside my glass boxes and both telling you what's going on with myself. So inside the box, that's what it is. And, maybe we'll do a little bit of thinking outside of the box too. We'll see what happens. Because it is, spring is just right around the corner. So I'm going to get working on my pond and all that here pretty soon. All my fish died in my pond. So I'm basically starting over with that. Got to do a big water change, get all the leaf litter out of there, and then I got some more like nice big flat rocks and stuff to make sure all the liner is completely covered so I don't have any issues with that. I want my liner to last as long as possible, so I got the rocks actually from one of my old Schwann's customers. I ended up getting them like too late to add to the pond before it got to winter. And I figured I might be, now I'm like most definitely going to be redoing the waterfall. So I'm glad I kind of waited till spring anyway. But nobody's wanting to say anything in chat. I've seen some people coming and going and all that. Don't be afraid to say hi. Join the conversation. Good friends of mine gave me this cool little thing right here. It's like a seashell with a light up pearl. You can't see it directly if you look right at it. Oh, except like when it turns red. But if you look on the reflection there, you can kind of see better that it's like a crystal ball with like sparkly glitter inside, and it's got like a little fan that kind of spins it around every now and then, makes it sparkle all nice and changes colors. I have the silver version of the shell that also comes in black and white, and I think there are versions that are like a solid color as well versus the changing color one that I have. But yeah, it's fun. And now it goes with more lights and stuff like I have over here. So soon, at some point, If I can ever get this 55-gallon tank over here over to Fishy Biz, I'm going to be rearranging my fish room or my animal room a little bit, you know. Greetings, Fish Fam. What's up, Fish Family? Thank you for being here, as always. I like the new avatar. It's like very, very official looking. It's very nice. Well, anyway, let's hop on to what's going on inside of a box. So this is I'm going to show you guys my saltwater aquarium now. So this is what I got going on now. I don't know why the quality of the stream through my phone is just always lower quality like that. But you guys can still kind of see it for what it is. Got some nice rock work, a little archway, some barnacles on either side, and plenty of various sizes of shells. I got a couple shells that are like really big, and I know my hermit crabs are never going to get that size, but I still have them anyway. I might take them out at some point. I don't know. It just kind of depends on how big that rock actually is that Gina has for me still with the Zoas on it. Gina's Reef, for those of you that don't know. I bought a Zoa rock from her like a year ago in an auction. And she's been holding on to it for me for a long time, if not more than a year. It might be like 2 years now even, but yeah, she's been holding on to it for me, and I'm gonna add it right into where pretty much the clownfish are hanging out right now, like right in front of that side of the rock. So I might take out some of the shells and some other stuff as I kind of rearrange things depending on quite how big that rock is, you know. But I don't have any corals in there yet. I got the 2 clownfish now. They are doing fine. As you guys can see, the Royal Grandma is still in there and is doing okay. Kind of hides out in the back a little bit more and still goes over on the side. It's also taken over a little like crevice inside the rock, like right behind where the clownfish are on the rock. There's like a hole that goes down, and I've seen it like kicking sand out, and it fits down in there. They're pretty cool how they maneuver around the rocks and stuff. How they can swim forwards and backwards and all these different things. It's pretty cool. Very much like a Juliidachromis, the Tanganyikan cichlid for you freshwater people out there. Just really cool how it like always is like facing the rock and will swim upside down, all these different angles, forwards, backwards, side to side. It's really, really cool. And then it also still just swims regular and all that. It comes out during feeding time just fine, and I don't notice any like bad aggression from the clownfish, which is good. I'm glad I outed the clownfish second after hearing all the horror stories and stuff. If you guys have heard from past live streams and all that, how Gina suggested I get the Royal Grandma first. I was thinking I wanted to get the clownfish because they were on sale. But luckily, with all the timing and stuff, I was able to still get the clownfish while they were on sale. And right when I was going to buy the clownfish, we got this really cool premium assorted clown that came in. And that's Mr. Limpet over there, the one that is kind of has a different pattern and more orange on him right now. He's got this like pattern on the side that almost looks like like a shark with its mouth open, or like some type of like monster dinosaur thing. It's it's almost exactly the same on both sides. It's just got some minor differences, but it's really, really cool. And then Mrs. Limpet is just a black Ocellaris clownfish. They both still have orange on them. I'm feeling like as they mature, they're gonna turn more and more black and still have those really nice white stripes and stuff. And then yeah, the royal grandma is, ladyfish. Um, and then I got plenty of hermit crabs and some snails. I did also, when I got the clownfish, I picked up two Sarin snails. So these guys spend their time down in the substrate and all that. I might get a couple more of those, and then maybe a few more snails of other types too. And that'll probably be it as far as livestock. Um, I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and get a barnacle blenny or not. I feel like one of those little bitty guys just probably would not get a chance to get much food with the other three fish that are in there, and the hermit crabs and all that stuff grabbing it. What's up, Fish Capades? How you doing? Good to see you. Love the name. But everybody seems to be doing fine. Um, I got cyanobacteria in there already, which sucks. It's growing on the big barnacle cluster on the right side of the screen. Sorry, I'm mirrored here on the right side of the screen, and it started to spread into the substrate. So I tried to suck some of it out with a little uh, hose and stuff, and I ended up sucking out a little bit more water than I was planning on. I couldn't really see the level of it because I kept the pumps and everything going. So basically, as I was pulling water out of the tank, it was being refilled from the connected sump in the back, and the sump was actually what was going down. And so all of a sudden, the pump in the back started shooting out a bunch of teeny tiny little water bubbles, and I freaked out for a second. But then I I didn't have any other salt water already planned because I didn't plan to take that much water out. So I ended up basically pouring some that water, most of the water, back into the tank in the sump area. So hopefully I didn't just screw my entire system by pouring little bits of cyanobacteria like into the filtration or whatever, because yeah, that might be bad. Um We'll see what happens next. But then I added some RODI water. So the salinity is probably a little bit low right now, but I plan to do a big water change and stuff on it tomorrow. I was gonna do a water change on it tomorrow, but I wanted to have it look a little bit better for my live stream tonight. So I wanted to clean off the glass, and I wanted to suck up as much of that cyanobacteria as I could. Um, but you got to be careful with cyanobacteria. You can't treat it like algae, because it's more ancient than algae. Cyanobacteria is one of the oldest life forms on this planet. It is difficult to get rid of. It lives through like everything. I'm pretty sure the reason it started growing from the barnacle is probably because it was leftover cyanobacteria from that barnacle when it was still in like my brackish tank way back. And so I thought I had killed it all. It ended up coming back, and then it spread into the substrate and all that. So hopefully it's not just getting like sprayed out everywhere into my tank right now. That would be bad. because like with algae, you can just like, scrape it off the glass and brush it around, and then it just like, kind of dies or whatever else, like the diatoms or whatever. But with the cyanobacteria, if you brush it all around and it spreads, it just connects to other stuff and then just starts sliming everything all over the place. Beautiful tank. I've never done saltwater. This is my first time officially jumping into saltwater. I'm Mel, by the way. I think I've talked to you before, Mel. I've never dealt with cyano yet, knock on wood. Yeah, it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. I'm not exactly sure where it comes from, but it can basically come from anywhere. It can come from little particles in the air. It can come connected to a fish's slime coat. It can come in the water when you're, purchasing from a pet store. So it's possible I even introduced it, with one of the hermit crabs or one of the snails, or, I might have introduced it with a little piece of I don't know. It could have been anything. Like Hydra. Ah, yeah. But cyanobacteria and like phytoplankton and stuff are also like the reason that we have oxygen on this planet. So like, thank you, cyanobacteria. um, yeah. But other than the cyanobacteria, I'm having some minor diatom issues on like the glass and stuff. The rocks did kind of brown a little bit for a while, like maybe like a week, but they don't look like brown anymore. They look nice and purple again. So I'm not really having issues as far as the diatoms go anymore. Um, but yeah, there's gonna be a couple ugly stages with the tank. Uh, I do have to be careful in the future with my water changes, because the way I'm doing how um yeah, I guess you can't hate on them too hard, right? How old is that tank? Let's see. I think I started it in like, oh crap. I would check on my, hold on a second. I was gonna say I would check on my phone, but my phone is looking at the tank right now. But I can look on my images on my computer. Let me see. I Of course I deleted a lot of the early pictures. Let's see. January 10th was when I bought the tank, and then I'm pretty sure after filming the short, I set it up right away. So I set it up on January 10th, and I bought my first hermit crabs on February 6th. So actually, it was only a month. Wow. My tank cycled pretty quickly. That quick start stuff helped, and I was adding fish food to it, and I used quick start a couple times when it first started. So yeah, I love it. What size? It's a 14-gallon cube, but it actually holds closer to like, I don't know, 10 and a half to 12 gallons of water or so. But what I was saying is I have to be careful with the water changes in the future, because as the corals kind of take over the rocks and stuff, I'm sure I'm going to have some corals that are on top of the rocks. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to place everything. I know I want an anemone in there as well for the clownfish, but the way I'm doing my water changes right now, I have a 4-gallon bucket. In fact, I have 2 of them. So I take out 4 gallons of water and I replace it with 4 gallons of water. Or, close to or whatever. And then, I'm topping it off with RODI as it gets kind of low and the salinity gets high and all that anyway. But more or less, I take out 4 gallons and I replace it with 4 gallons once a week. And it comes down to about, if you guys look in the top center on the rocks, there's like that one like kind of piece of the rock that kind of looks like it's another rock attached to it. And then like to the right of that, there's a shell. That's the hermit crab right there. Like I pretty much drain the water down to like where that hermit crab is, maybe a little bit lower. It's not quite a 50% water change for sure, because it does hold more than 8 gallons of water, even with all the rocks and stuff, I think. But it's, probably about a 40% water change. And, so if I have corals or like the anemone and stuff actually on top of the rocks, I won't be able to do that big of a water change on it just because of how high I have the rocks in this tank. But I wanted to, utilize all the space of this tank. So I'll have to be kind of careful way down the road when I have lots of corals and stuff in there. But maybe by that time, I'll be doing like more frequent smaller water changes versus, one big water, or I might not even have to do as big of water changes down the road as it like really cycles more and I have like corals and macroalgae and stuff that are kind of absorbing some of the nitrates and the phosphates and calcium and all that other stuff that's in there, and I really have to start monitoring all the different areas of my water, because right now like nothing's really changing. Every single week I do a water test, and what's been going on right now is I'll have the very like slight amount of ammonia in there, and I got like 40 to 60 parts per million of nitrates, and then like nothing on phosphates really. Maybe the tiniest little bit, just enough to show color, and like everything else is just pretty much always rating the same. My KH is like 10 or 11. My calcium levels are like between 350 to like 420 parts per million or something. And I've never seen any nitrites in there. Now, I didn't do a whole bunch of water tests when I was letting it cycle with the light off and all that. Is it the same cycle process for salt water? Yes and no. It takes longer in salt water, and you just want to be slower with everything in salt water because, well, it just takes longer. But then also, these fish are much more expensive. Like if you're cycling a freshwater tank and it's not all the way cycled or whatever, and you buy 20 guppies, and 5 of them die, like boo-hoo, you lost like $8 to $10, depending on the guppies or whatever, But if you throw, a clownfish in there, one clownfish is like $30. Mr. Limpet there cost me would have been $50, but I got him at 50%, or not 50% off. I got him at 25% off plus my 20% discount on top of that. And just whatever else. I got a good deal on my fish. I actually got both the clownfish and two of the sarin snails basically for the price that I would have paid for just the one clownfish, Mr. Limpet, had I not had my discount and been 25% off and all that. So really good deal. More or less got a clownfish and two snails for free. But I still spent like $50. So, that's a lot more money to deal with in salt water. So you just want to be slower with it and all that. And, since the cycle takes a lot longer and all that at the beginning, like you're not even turning the light on. You don't have anything in the tank anyway. You're just letting it go through its cycling process and build up the ammonia and nitrites and all that stuff, and adding fish food or adding a dead fish or whatever else in there to get the ammonia cycle and all that stuff going. You just leave the light off while that's going on, and then you can turn the light on and you start adding livestock and all that stuff. And you want to add the livestock progressively, slowly over time. And you want to start in different stages, so that nothing gets all screwed up. Because, well, like I said, it's all expensive. So I was talking about it in previous live streams, and I'm going to talk about it again now. So I wanted a Royal Grandma, and I wanted two clownfish, and I also wanted a barnacle blenny, but now I don't think I'm going to end up getting the barnacle blenny. I think I'm fine with what I got. I don't want to overstock the tank too much. So anyway, I don't know, maybe I'll get a shrimp too. I don't know. But with the clownfish and the Royal Grandma, clownfish are semi-aggressive. A Royal Grandma is semi-aggressive, right? The clownfish are definitely more aggressive when they have an anemone, because then they have something to defend. And clownfish, their range is roughly the size of a basketball. Their territory is like a basketball size. So pretty much the entire size of my tank is like their territory. So Gina was suggesting that I get the Royal Grandma first, because mainly that clownfish can be dicks sometimes. And then, two clownfish beating up on one Royal Grandma is much, more than one Royal Grandma potentially beating up on the two new clownfish that come in. So I was still going to potentially get the clownfish first because they were on sale. They were 25% off, and I didn't want to miss out on that. And I was taking my time on everything. But the day that I was going to finally buy a fish, I had a customer come in, and she was telling me a horror story about how she's been trying to add fish to her tank that has a clownfish in there, and he's just terrorizing everything that she adds. So she needs a fish that's a little bit bigger and slightly more aggressive or whatever to be able to handle it with the clownfish. And so I'm just like, I'm so glad you told me that, because now I'm definitely getting the Royal Grandma first. And also that same day, one of my new manager that I work with, she doesn't know quite as much about fish. She's learning, and she accidentally put two Royal Grandma in the same tank. And Royal Grandma, they are semi-aggressive, but they're pretty peaceful with everybody else. They're mainly aggressive with each other. They get con-specific aggression. So, the bigger one was beating up on the smaller one. So I got the smaller one, and she's been doing great in there. And now I got the clownfish, and I still got the clownfish when they were on sale, and everything's doing fine. But if I would have done it another way, like I would have potentially gone through a couple different Royal Grandmas and spent a lot more money just to finally get one that, didn't get terrorized enough to die and became, peaceful enough in the tank if I would have tried to do it the other way. So you just want to be careful and really take your time with it. Yep, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay in the loop. Just got my first colony of Blue Dream Neo Shrimps. I don't know what took me so long to try them. Now I'm hooked. Yep. See what you're saying about the money cost is one reason I'm cool on salt water. Another is how much I love live plants. Yeah, but there are macroalgae in salt water as well. So I'll show you that in just a second. I've always done fish in cycles, no issues, never lost one. I just add slow and use prime and stability and use medium buttloads of plants. See, I don't sit there and add stuff to my water when it's like in there. I mean, especially with salt water, you don't want to do that. I'm not wanting to use like any chemicals long term in my tank. Like I use Quick Start to get it going, but since I have an RODI system and I'm just adding salt to it, like I don't want to add anything to my tank to put a band-aid on the issue, I just want to do a water change and suck that garbage out. So that's the way I'm looking at it with the saltwater tank too. And it's a bigger investment up front to get all that. Now, you don't have to use an RODI system if you're just doing fish and live rock and all that. But if you want to do corals and all that stuff, you really just need to get an RODI system because they're just much more sensitive to what's in the water. But macroalgae. Let's see, how does this look? Okay, cool. You guys got a good view. So, look at these different types of macroalgae. There's that. There's, what we would call like seaweed. There's red ones. Look at this. That's like a whole macroalgae tank. If you love your live plants, look at what you can do. You can get colorful saltwater plants, more or less. This right here, dragon's tongue, I have a little piece of that actually in my tank right now. I found it at work. This is what oh, wait. Live red pom-pom. That might be what I have. Pom-pom macroalgae. I don't know. It might just be a different name for the same thing. But that's what it looks like I have, is that. Leaf Caulerpa, Prolifera. There's purple ones. There are red ones. And feathery green ones. This one. Look at that. Look at the bubbles. And the little petal thingies. Look at that macroalgae thing. Look at that macroalgae. Oh, wow. Focus. Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah. So there you go. I plan to do a combination of some stuff with this tank. I plan to have one or two, maybe three macroalgae, a couple different types of corals, and an anemone. So it's going to be pretty gorgeous when it's all done. And as it just slowly evolves and grows and builds into more, I'm so excited to see what it blossoms into. And now I'm thinking about my girlfriend again. Now I'm excited to see what this relationship blossoms into, because everything is going like so well between us. There's some different hiccups and things that are going on in like her personal life and stuff, but I mean everything between us is going just great. So we just got to get her ex-husband out of the house. I got all different sorts of hermit crabs in there. I think I might get a shrimp. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't want to overstock it with life. I have 3 scarlet reef hermit crabs. I have 3 red leg Cortez hermit crabs, and then I have 4 blue leg hermit crabs. I'm pretty sure I still have all of them left. Some of those guys, like 3 of the blue leg hermit crabs, are pretty small, so they can, kind of hide in some of the different crevices and stuff in those rocks. So I don't know if all 3 of the little ones are still alive. I've definitely seen 2 out of the 3 little ones. I got nervous once because I thought I saw a dead crab in there, but it was actually just a molt, because they molt and all that too. So that's why you have to have all the different sizes of shells. Gills to Gardens. Hello, my fishy friends. Been a minute since I've been in chat. Sorry. Also, don't know if you've caught the name change. Oh, Nathan! What's up, Nathan? I like the name change. That's a good one. It's good to see you. I'm going to officially be on Tuesday nights now versus Saturday nights, so be sure to adjust your calendar accordingly. Hope to see people coming around a whole lot more. I might cut the live streams a little bit shorter now. I'm not sure if I may go 2 hours or just 1 hour. It really just kind of depends on what the conversation's going like and all that. I'll probably just kind of plan on doing an hour, but then, if things are going good, I can always just push it longer. Nothing wrong with that. But I pretty much talked about everything that I wanted to talk about tonight. My bearded dragon is doing really well. He's growing, and shedding and growing and looking all cute. Tundra's doing great. She's learning to like my girlfriend a lot more. She's not being quite a jerk to Jess anymore. She kind of peed on some of Jess's stuff a couple times, and it was pretty bad, but she hasn't done that. Now we've been doing our best to not leave anything out or whatever, but still, she hasn't done that, and she's been warming up to Jess now, realizing that she's going to be coming around a lot more. I met Jess's kids. I'm not sure if I told you guys that or not. Kylie and Anastasia. She's got two beautiful daughters. Kylie's 13 and Anastasia is almost 6. I think it's just a week and a half away until her birthday. I don't remember what day it is. I gotta ask Jess. She'll probably tell me later because she watches my live stream too now. So plan to start bringing in some plants the wife grows, and I'm tossing the idea of growing some veggies. Nice. Gotta love gardening, man. Should have put the stream on TV while I set up the 2 new 5.5 gallon. Yeah. Nice. So you're going to do some gardening content too. Cool. I might throw a little bit of gardening content back in on here. I gave some for a while, and it didn't have as many views as a lot of my other videos did, so I just kind of stopped doing it. But man, I got one video out there that is still doing super well. It's my hydroponic fertilizer video. I still have people that comment on that video and say how I helped them and all that stuff. It's great. It's awesome. I think that's pretty much my only video that is still getting views, pretty new views that come in. I wonder what it's at now. I'm gonna look that up. Let's see. $720 subscribers. Thank you guys very much for that. Popular. So yeah, it's got 4.3 thousand views. My second most video is doing maintenance on the Mini Bow 5. 4.1 thousand views. Interesting. So I guess people have looked at my video on how to actually use the Mini Bow 5 tank and all that stuff and do the maintenance on there, which is interesting. Sorry if this is a sore topic, but I didn't read a sore topic when I looked at this. At first, I thought it said sorry if this is off topic. I miss a lot from both of y'all. So no sore topic at all, actually. Gina and I still get along just fine. We work together and everything is great, honestly. It just is with our schedule, both of us being the more or less Gina and I are always working kind of opposite of each other. So it was either I was closing on Saturday night or she was closing on Saturday night. So we just couldn't stream together anymore. And so at first we were going to maybe try to find another day to where we could both stream together still. And it just wasn't really going to work out. So I just decided I'm just going to stream on my own now. Gina still does her weekly stream as well, and now she's like started to bring in a lot of the knife people, and has her she has her husband Nathan on there, doing knife content and all that. So they're doing their thing and I'm doing my thing. No bad stuff at all. Work is, yeah, I like my job. And it's really nice to work with Gina, actually. She knows her stuff. She's really good at like teaching and showing, very kind hearted. And then she's just like super nice and bubbly and fun. And sometimes she brings donuts and whatever else. So Gina's great. Awesome to work with. Everybody should be jealous that they don't have a Gina at their job. For real. She's awesome. My voice is getting all growly. It's like the morning when you first wake up. Oh, yeah. I love it when my voice is all like this. I don't always get that. Oh, I need to get a couple emerald crabs at some point for my little saltwater reef as well. Uh, but I gotta wait for like green algae to start growing for that because they eat green algae. I wonder. I'm gonna ask Gina next time I work with her on Thursday if there would be any benefit to me getting a shrimp on top of the hermit crabs, or if they more or less do the same thing to where like I should only get a shrimp if I really want one, or like would there be a benefit to me getting like a fire shrimp, because I love fire shrimp. I just love anything that's that really nice like red color. For those who haven't seen fire shrimp, these guys, they're so cool. With their white legs and white spots and their white tentacles or antenna or whatever you want to call them. And they're, we have one at the store already that's like an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches. So they're really cool. Gotta love donuts. I actually sent Nathan a knife. I got it a while back as a gift, but don't really carry one, and it needed oil all the time, or it rusts and whatnot. So, oh, it's one of those like old school types of knives. Yeah, because my knife, the one that I have, I don't have any issues with it rusting or anything like that because it's like titanium coated and whatever else. But I even use it to cut open all the saltwater bags and stuff at work. So it gets salt water on it, whatever else, and it's fine. But I do need to get it sharpened. It's starting to get dull, or I need to sharpen it myself. I used to have like a whole like whetstone setup or whatever, but I don't know exactly where that is. It's in one of my totes that I had when I was in Iraq that I brought back with just full of army stuff and whatever else I had when I was in Iraq. So I got a couple totes like that that I kind of need to go through and stuff. I got a lot of stuff that I need to go through and like get rid of crap that I don't need anymore. Right now, I don't really feel like it. I'm just chilling. I've seen those in person. They are so cool, super bright. Is that the same shrimp that's in Finding Nemo? No. That is just a Jacques the Cleaner shrimp. The skunk cleaner shrimp. That's what Jacques was. Oui, I am Jacques. See? And there's also the coral banded shrimp. But yeah, the cleaner shrimp is the one that grabs a fish and cleans it and will hop on your hand and clean it and will get in the moray's mouth and clean it. They're nuts. But they're really cool at the same time because, yeah, like, I think we might have one at work that is actually comfortable enough to, like, get on your hand. So I might get one of those instead of the fire shrimp. But I just really like the fire shrimp because of that color, man. But I don't know. They're really cool. They are really cool. No fear. I wouldn't clean a fish's mouth. I guess they protect the shrimp in a sense. Yeah. I mean, they gotta have something to clean out their teeth, you know? They don't have a toothbrush underwater, so. What's up, Room? Oh, real quick in these last like 5 minutes, I've been playing this game called Return to Moria. It's based off the Lord of the Rings. It's a survival game where you are a dwarf. That this takes place after the Lord of the Rings. Um, Gimli is like now like really really old, and you're going back, and you're part of the party or whatever that goes in to retake Moria. And the beginning of the game happens. I mean, whatever. I'll kind of spoil it, but more or less, like you fall in alone or with your group of friends. You can play online and even like host your own private server and stuff, and just play with your specific group of friends, which is what I've been doing. I've been playing with my buddy Clint, and maybe down the road we'll bring some other people in on it if they want to buy it too. But it was on sale on Steam, so I bought that for like $25, and it's a lot of fun. You have to like build a hearth and a furnace and uh a smithy and all these different things to build weapons and axes and torches and, you know, fight goblins and wolves and whatever else have taken over Moria. And you have to like dig your way through and find keys and all these other sorts of mysteries and things to find the expansive areas. And it's just really cool. If you like Lord of the Rings, or even if you don't and you just kind of like fantasy type stuff and you like survival games, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun to like, you know, create your own dwarf and stuff, and you know, build a house and whatever else you want to do. Go hunting and all different stuff and explore and mine and whatever. You can also make a female dwarf if you want to. I think I accidentally picked a female dwarf's voice for my male dwarf, though. When I was picking the voices, it just sounded like a male with a slightly higher pitched voice. But when I'm like in the game, it sounds more feminine now. So I'm just like, dang it, I think I picked the wrong voice. And I'm not sure if I can edit. Oh, no, wait. I think I can customize him post creation. So I might be able to change his voice. We shall see. Fish Tropic Canada, what's up? Good to see you. Well, tomorrow I'm going out to dinner with my girlfriend and her oldest daughter. So that'll be fun. And I got karaoke on Thursday. And then another awesome weekend to follow that. So yeah, with the 2 new tanks, I'm up to 17. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I just can't. Too much. I got so like stressed out and whatever. I set myself up for failure by having up to 20 tanks at one point. I just couldn't keep up with it. Yep. Well, anyway, guys, I'm just going to call this one in an hour. I don't really have much else to talk about, and chat's kind of slow. So I will catch up with you guys next week on next Tuesday at 8 Central. And I'll have some more updates for you, and we'll talk about what else is going on inside the box. So you guys have a great one now, and I'll see you later.